Hey, Jay Williams, Waterfowlers for Christ, and author of Committed to the Call, a 365-day waterfowl hunter's devotional. I want to read you something called The White Whale. For as long as I'd been hunting, I'd wanted an old squaw. Often I'd catch myself daydreaming about that bird. Like the fictional Captain Ahab and his white whale, that bird successfully eluded me for 20 years. There were times when I had come close. Once a pair streaked by me at eye level, and I dropped one at about 15 yards, but it pulled one of those Olympic-style dives on me, barely making a splash while seamlessly disappearing in the instant it touched the water. He surfaced once, just to look back over his shoulder at me before vanishing into the depths, never to be seen again. The second time that bird and I missed our date with destiny came in my 18th year of hunting. During a very slow season on a very slow day. I was with a buddy anchored in my boat near shore when I spotted a single low-flying duck coming at us from across the river. Seeing a white head and dark body, I leaned over and whispered to my partner, "Drake-hooded merganser coming from my side. Go ahead and take him when he gets here if you want." I took my phone out to text my uncle about how slow the hunting was when I heard a whistling of wings that was not familiar to me. When I looked up, I saw him. The white whale was flying past the last of my decoys with his tremendously long split tail feathers lagging in tow behind. It was beautiful, breathtaking, and horrifying altogether as he faded away in all his splendor, completely unscathed. My inexperienced partner never bothered to raise his gun on the drake-hooded merganser. 20 years from the day that I first stepped foot on the duck hunting waters, it finally happened. The planets aligned on a tough morning. The waves were brutal, and I'd gone out alone from shore to retrieve a downed goldeneye that my partner had shot. While picking up the duck, I noticed a white dot a few coves over, and I decided to investigate. As I slowly piloted my boat closer, I began to realize what I was moving towards. The white whale. My heart leapt, and simultaneously so did the bird. I cut the engine in hopes that he'd make a mistake and fly too close as he headed toward me and open water. He began to swing wide, and I emptied 3 shots, missing with every one of them. I spun, loaded another shell while he passed behind me, and fired one final pleading shot as he flew by, lifting higher and higher into the air. My heart began to sink in despair as I watched him fly to the middle of the river and land into an oncoming wave. Wait, what? Did he just crash into an oncoming wave? Birds don't do that. He's hit, I realized suddenly. I hurried out into the 4-foot waves to where I thought he had crashed, expecting to see a floating body, but there was nothing. Sitting there, I couldn't help but go back in my mind to the last time a long-tailed duck dove on me, never to be seen again. I picked up my phone to tell my buddy what had gone on, and that's when it happened. Just 12 yards away, the white whale arose from the depths. I dropped my phone, shouldered my gun, removed the safety, and pulled the trigger in one solid motion. As he lay there motionless, his head bowed in defeat, I was overcome with both joy and sadness. Stuck between a victory cry and rising feelings of remorse, I marveled at his beauty and questioned if any man were truly worthy of taking the life of such a creation. Honestly, at that moment, I didn't know if I wanted to celebrate or quit hunting forever. I was caught between "look what I've done" and "oh God, what have I done?" The Jews, God's people, chosen to be his example to the world, searched and scoured the scriptures in search of their own white whale, the Messiah who was to come. For hundreds and hundreds of years they watched and waited. They'd had many glimpses throughout that time, and when Jesus, the Christ of God, arrived, they crucified him. Sometimes it's painfully evident that there is something within man that drives us to not only seek the most wonderful, but to also destroy it. How many times have you lived out that lesson during your hunts? And the verse that I paired with this comes from Acts chapter 2, verse 37. Now when they heard this, they were cut to the heart, and said to Peter and the rest of the apostles, "Men and brethren, what shall we do?"